As a constitutional law attorney, Jenna Ellis believes in the rule of law and the importance of integrity in our elections. And she's ready to tackle the big cultural and legal issues facing America. This is the Jenna Ellis Show. Here is your host, Jenna Ellis.
Throughout history, there are clear moments that define our nation's path. And now you can own a piece of that history. I'm thrilled to announce the official Newt Gingrich contract with America coin from our friends at Legacy Precious Metals in partnership with Speaker Gingrich. This limited edition 1 ounce 99.99% silver coin commemorates the historic victory in 1994 when the Republican Party, under Speaker Gingrich's guidance, took control of Congress. The Newt Gingrich contract with America coin also symbolizes the transformative political platform that led to the landmark achievements like the overhaul of the U.S. welfare system and the Balanced Budget Act. This is a limited edition coin that will sell out. So whether you're looking for the perfect gift or you want to own a piece of history, act fast before they run out. The Newt Gingrich contract with America coin is more than an investment. It's a tribute to honest government and America. You can order it online at newtgingrichsilvercoin.com. That's newtgingrichsilvercoin.com and use promo code Jenna, that's Jenna, to get $10 off your purchase. Go to newtgingrichsilvercoin.com now.
The year is 2024, and Texas leads a coalition of over 20 states who oppose the federal government. Taylor Swift is the biggest name in professional football. Ben Shapiro is the #1 rapper in the country. And it's only January. So that was a now viral tweet by our good friend Auron MacIntyre at The Blaze. And in case you missed this, turning now to a little bit of pop culture. Can we call rap pop culture? I don't even know what category it fits into. But Ben Shapiro actually released and this was along with another, I guess, recording artist. I mean, I don't really follow rap, but the song is called Facts, and it's with this guy, Tom MacDonald. Those of you who may follow rap are probably laughing, going, you don't know who Tom MacDonald is? No, I really don't. But the song is called Facts, and if you haven't heard it, I'm only going to play a short segment of this, but you really just, for your pop culture knowledge, you just need to know it's out there. So this is the song called Facts.
I don't care if I offend you. I was playing to upset you. You can cry and you can scream. You can riot in the streets. You defunded the police. Now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you. I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect.
All right. So that was as much as we could do. And I just have to say, I put that, kind of one rung higher than the Laura Trump cover. That was so auto-tuned. I mean, I'm just so proud of all conservatives right now going. I mean, I know that entertainment is important to have conservative and especially Christian alternatives, but is this really where we're going? 2024, I mean, it is already January, but let's welcome in Auron MacIntyre, who wrote that viral tweet. And Auron, I got a text from a good friend of mine as we were in that last break that she actually said, so what if Taylor Swift runs? And I'm just thinking that would be 2024.
Yeah, no, it's especially now that the Chiefs are moving on, we're going to have to endure this quite a bit longer. There is a conspiracy theory going around that Taylor is some kind of plant to manipulate the presidential election. I think we've already seen that the deep state's more than willing to do that, and in other areas, I don't know if that has to mean that romance is their main vehicle, but it is pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, she turns 35 in December, so she would be of age when she took office, and I would not put it past the Democrats who are using all of these social media influencers, these TikTokers, to come into the White House, that they're so completely just enamored with celebrity. And I'm not suggesting that this has even been like, a rumor or anything like that, but I think that the whole Taylor Swift phenomenon and this sort of crossover into the NFL. It could be real, but it looks more like a PR stunt for the NFL, for people who have have done the boycott thing and haven't really paid attention to the NFL. I mean, it's not as popular as it used to be. And now with this whole rise of Taylor Swift attending every game, and now she's going to be at the Super Bowl. I mean, she made the Super Bowl in her rookie year. That's what I tweeted last night. This is drawing a lot more attention from all of these Swifties because she's so popular. So I could see this not just being sort of a PR stunt for the NFL, but to drive a lot of the young voters out because I mean, she made an endorsement in 2020 for Joe Biden, and a lot of young people are very swayed by celebrity endorsements.
Yeah, and of course that's true, I think, of every demographic. I mean, the good news, I guess, is if we're worried about that, people have been trying to drive out the youth vote for a very long time, and it almost never happens. Though I will say it would be refreshing to have anyone who's not going to turn 80 in the White House be involved in the presidential race. It seems for some reason we're only allowed to be ruled by people who qualify for nursing homes at this point. I don't think Taylor would be my first choice, but it would be a nice change of pace to have somebody who, might, actively be involved in the housing market or having a family or those kind of things while they're in the White House, and not just people who are, approaching 75, 80 years old.
Well, at least she does know where she is compared to Joe Biden. So, I mean, so I would say she's more qualified at this point, unfortunately. I don't know who she would hire, how her policy would be, but at least just on that basis, which is it's a very, very low bar. I mean, this is really sad that we've come to this point in this country. And what I texted back, and of course, it's kind of tongue in cheek, but what I texted back to my friend, I said, if that actually happens and we have somebody like Taylor Swift, who by zero metric otherwise, other than age and basic competency, in my opinion, would be qualified to be in the seat of government in one of the world's superpowers, then why not just go back to a monarchy, right? I mean, at this point, I'd rather have the inheritance of somebody who has been brought up at least knowing that they're going to become king, than something so ridiculous if you have the electorate and voters who are that far gone that they would think that somebody like Joe Biden or Taylor Swift, for all of those reasons, are possibly the best choice for public office.
I mean, Jenna, I couldn't agree more. I'm glad you're finally crossing over. You're understanding the value of the hereditary monarchy. We don't have to deal with, the degenerating, Democratic vote at this point. I mean, but yeah, it is absolutely ridiculous that it's come to this point. I mean, we've already elected a reality TV host, and why not a pop star? We need to move into the idiocracy phase where we get a professional wrestler. We can just collect different pop culture figures and elevate them. It'll be a good time. If the Republic's gonna burn, at least a comedy of it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least it'll be entertaining. It'll be like Veep. I mean, literally, that's kind of where we're heading. And for all of the things that the Trump administration did well, and there were a lot, I do think that this opened the door, as you referenced, to this kind of, well, if you are a celebrity in a separate fashion, then like Oprah, suggesting, that Oprah should run. And yes, we do live in a country that, as long as you meet the minimum qualifications in the Constitution, which is basically just age and citizenship, then you can run. But that doesn't necessarily mean you are the best choice. And for Democrats, they're suggesting, that somebody like Oprah would be such a wonderful president. I'm thinking, Oprah at best is an entertainer and maybe a philanthropist for progressive leftist types of philanthropy. So not anything that I would support, but that doesn't make a good policymaker. It doesn't make a good governor. And this is where I think the right has also kind of gone a little too far down this track in terms of valuing people that are good in front of the camera. I would just say, Carrie Lake, for example, she's running for U.S. Senate now from Arizona. And she ran for governor. A lot of people are excited about her. But the more that you hear her speak, yes, she's great on the camera, but can she govern? I mean, it seems like nobody is worried about the fact that, she's openly pro-LGBTQ. She doesn't really know what she's doing in a lot of other policy issues. But nobody is really paying attention to the substance. They're only paying attention to how good they are at smacking down the fake news media. I mean, that shouldn't be our metric here.
Yeah, but I think it's just an inevitable consequence of mass communication and democracy. There's a reason that pretty much every founding father warned us about mass franchise democracy. There's a reason that in the Constitution originally we didn't elect senators directly. We had a lot more barriers between the presidential election and the popular opinion. And that's because the founding fathers were perfectly aware that a voting base can be easily manipulated, especially now with the kind of the widespread that the mainstream media has, the level of control and the ability they have to pump those opinions and information into people's minds constantly. I think we're just seeing a natural outcome. I don't think it's because the Republicans are doing or the Democrats are doing it. I just think that's how incentives line up.
Yeah, and I would agree with you on that. It's not just this is a commentary on culture, and politics is downstream from culture, as Andrew Breitbart famously said. And when you have this kind of de-education, if that's a word, see, I'm getting into idiocracy now because I'm not even coining the right term. But when you get to a culture and a populace that doesn't have the civics education, is not scripturally sound and has substantive theology that moves and shapes culture. And when you have the television instead of the pulpit, that is the main source of learning, then you have this entertainment hierarchy. And I've mentioned this book before on air, but one of my favorites that I read last year was Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman, called Public Discourse in the Age of Show Business. And this was written, back in the 80s. But the point of it was to say that when we are consuming news and commentary and getting education from a medium that is necessarily primarily entertainment based, then we aren't truly getting the substance. I mean, and this is why I've said for a long time that I like radio much better than television, because you have to have something to say and the audience is not distracted by all of the glitz and glamour and production and does the set look good? Does the hair and makeup look good? I mean, when I'm on television, then most of the comments that I get are, does the color that I was wearing look good, right? Where in radio, nobody cares about any of that. They're actually here to listen to what we have to say, and it's longer than maybe a 3-minute segment. And so, but that's for the vast majority of people, television is how they consume their news. So are we necessarily making ourselves dumber by using the entertainment medium as our primary method of learning what's happening in the world today?
Oh, undoubtedly. The medium is the message. When we transfer from one mode of cultural transmission to the other, we end up changing necessarily the culture that we're transmitting. And I think it's just obviously true that while a larger number of people might be impacted by, quote unquote, the news today than maybe could read it previously due to modes of education and that kind of thing, the kind of news that they're getting is much poorer for this particular reason. And again, unfortunately, I don't see any big shift in that happening. So while that is lamentable, I think it'd be wise for the right, for Republicans to understand that that's a reality about how information is going to be obtained, instead of saying, well, because this is beneath us, we're not going to engage with this or we're not going to understand it. Because I think that is a mistake, even though it's an understandable reaction.
Yeah, and I'm speaking with Auron MacIntyre, who is a host at The Blaze and has his own show and is a columnist there. And Auron, again, this book, interesting that you say the medium is the message, because the first chapter of Amusing Ourselves to Death is expanding on that and saying the medium is the metaphor. And I would really encourage all listeners to go and read this book. I mean, and also just read books, period, because if all we're doing is wanting to be entertained, and there's nothing wrong with good forms of entertainment, but that shouldn't be the sole or the primary even basis of how we learn not only our news of the day and participate in civil government, but I think this translates as well to how a lot of big churches, and especially big Eva, kind of the mega churches now, try to teach theology, Auron, is that they have to use all of these clips from different movies, or they have to use, they'll probably use Ben Shapiro's rap song now, for something. And it's like they have to use all of this entertainment in order to have their audience's attention. And that necessarily waters down the message instead of just preaching, opening the Bible, saying, take out your Bibles, turn to Ephesians 5, here's what we're doing verse by verse. I mean, that is so rare, unfortunately, in churches these days, and it's watering down theology as well.
Yeah, I think there's a reason, and I'm myself an evangelical, but I think there's a reason that the Orthodox Church is growing in the United States right now, and that's because the evangelical church, in large part, has forgotten that that the sacred, the tradition that binds these things, is really important. It sets you apart from the culture rather than trying to conform to the culture. It puts people in a different mode of reverence when they're worshiping, when they're learning God's word. And so people are looking for a more Orthodox tradition that aligns them with that understanding. I think rather than trying to build the world's largest sub and run all of the snazziest videos and incorporate whatever new rap song is involved, evangelical churches might want to think a little more about returning to something that reminds people that they're involved in a sacred space that's separate from what the world's doing.
Yeah, really well said. And I know just people in my age group and younger, kind of the 30 to 40 generation right now, at least, are turning to Orthodoxy for exactly that reason, where they're saying, I don't want kind of this fluff. I want to have this feeling of reverence and feel like I'm actually engaging in a church of substance. And it's sad that the medium sometimes becomes more important than the message, because it's not so much that they're looking for, in some instances, not everyone, of course, but in some instances are looking for that feeling of reverence instead of, is this church actually teaching correct theology? I mean, that should be the number one most important thing that you look at a church. And of course, we could expand on this a lot more. We're already out of time, Auron MacIntyre, but and I really appreciate your time. But this is where we need to make sure as Christians that we are always engaging in the substance, that we are not just going to a church that either makes us feel more reverent or that is entertaining us, but also when we're reading the news and the daily headlines. We don't just want to passively digest some of this fluff that is easy to consume on television. We always want to make sure that we are critically thinking and analyzing, does this conform to conservatism, which is predicated on a biblical worldview for civil society? That should be our engagement. We should know civics, know our rule book of the Constitution, so that we can always engage as better citizens. So you can always reach me and my team at jenna@afr.net, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
As you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton. It is ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. The Giza Dream Sheets come in a variety of sizes and colors. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you will receive 50% off the Giza Dream Sheets. You will also receive a set for as low as $29.98. So go to mypillow.com, click on the radio podcast square, and use the promo code Jenna. There you will find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, which I have and I love, the MyPillow kitchen towel sets, and now even flannel sheets and so much more. We definitely need flannel sheets for as crazy as all of this weather has been lately. So go to mypillow.com and make sure you use the promo code Jenna or call 1-800-564-8475. That's 1-800-564-8475 and use the promo code Jenna. Throughout history, there are clear moments that define our nation's path, and now you can own a piece of that history. I'm thrilled to announce the official Newt Gingrich contract with America coin from our friends at Legacy Precious Metals in partnership with Speaker Gingrich. This limited edition 1 ounce 99.99% silver coin commemorates the historic victory in 1994 when the Republican Party, under Speaker Gingrich's guidance, took control of Congress. The Newt Gingrich contract with America coin also symbolizes the transformative political platform that led to the landmark achievements like the overhaul of the U.S. welfare system and the Balanced Budget Act. This is a limited edition coin that will sell out. So whether you're looking for the perfect gift or you want to own a piece of history, act fast before they run out. The Newt Gingrich contract with America coin is more than an investment. It's a tribute to honest government and America. You can order it online at newtgingrichsilvercoin.com. That's newtgingrichsilvercoin.com and use promo code Jenna, that's JENNA, to get $10 off your purchase. Go to newtgingrichsilvercoin.com now.